Good afternoon. My name is Damaris Jasmin Aspilcueta Villalobos, and I'm currently recording my video for the evidence number 1 of my English course, level 6. My professor's name is David Villarreal, and the name of this first evidence is my worst travel experience. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a second. Okay, this is the cover of the evidence and my worst travel experience. I can say it my worst because it wasn't really the worst, was at Chiapas. And I'm going to change the slide. Okay, the place I traveled, as I said, it was Chiapas. Specifically, it was San Cristobal de las Casas. Why we went to San Cristobal de las Casas? We went because one of my boyfriend's friends was getting married. He was getting married in San Cristobal de las Casas. And we went in there last week, actually, from February 14th to February 16th. And that's why our destination was to that place. We were specifically for a wedding. Okay, which was our traveling form? Well, we flew from Monterrey to Tuxtla Gutierrez. San Cristobal doesn't have an airport, so you have, if you want to go to that place, to go to Tuxtla and then take a van from the airport to San Cristobal de las Casas. It is like an hour and 40 minutes away, and you can take it just leaving the airport. There are a bunch of ladies selling you these these tickets to get to their vans, and you get in there. The van's capacity is about 15 people, and it's okay. It's a good place to travel. It's not very expensive, and I think it's a good form of traveling safe and cheap from one place to another. Okay, who I travel with? I travel with my boyfriend. Sorry, I travel with my boyfriend. This is my boyfriend Andres. This is me, and we spent our Valentine's in San Cristobal de las Casas. Okay, I'm going to start talking about the activities that had planned ahead. Well, we really don't have like an itinerary or a plan ahead to go when we were at San Cristobal. As I said, we were visiting that place because we had a wedding. So really the plan was just going to the wedding and coming back to Monterrey. Mm, the events of the wedding actually start on Friday, but we didn't get on there get to there on time because we get to San Cristobal at like 9 at night, and these activities started like at 4 of that day. So we just came to the wedding. It was on Saturday, and we took off to Monterrey at Sunday. So we really don't have time like to do tourists or to visit the places that Chiapas has to offer. But we really do have an impromptu plan ahead to do. When we were at the wedding at night, one of my boyfriend's friends invited us to go on Sunday morning to the Cañón del Sumidero. It was a private tour that they were taking with I mean my boyfriend's friend, and they had planned to go on Sunday at like 11 in the morning, and they told us the plan like Saturday at 12. So we fast send a text message to this agency to let us know if they have a space for 2 more people. But it was very late and they really don't gave us a fast answer. But we do get up on time, get up early the other day on Sunday to be like waiting for an answer to know what to do. But we received that answer like 30 minutes before the tour was going to leave. So we don't have the time like to be ready to do that. We didn't have breakfast. We didn't had made our luggage to came back to Monterrey. So the time was really difficult to to accomplish. So we don't get to the Cañón del Sumidero. But what we do in that case? In this case, we really don't have like a plan ahead to do. We just play it by ear. And what we do was like with no so much pleasure of time, we made our luggage, we go to a pretty place to have breakfast, and then we just go like walking into the downtown just to look for souvenirs. And we really don't have too much time because we have like 2 hours, 3 hours, because our flight on Sunday was leaving at like 4. We were starting to move to the airport and to get again to the van to take us from San Cristobal to Tuxtla. So we really don't have too much time like to do many things. But what we do was okay. It was a fun plan, and I really enjoyed being with my boyfriend just walking down the streets and looking for things to buy as a souvenir. Okay. What were the situations that made the travel experience the worst travel experience? I really can't say it was the worst travel experience. It's like worse because it was not the best, but either it was the worst. I think it just had some problems, but we can go through all of them fine. But I'm going to explain why I think it wasn't perfect, but neither it was the worst. Okay, I have a list. There are 10 things that I can say didn't make the experience as enjoyable as it can be, but we figure it out. Okay, the number one, on the way to Monterrey Airport, we ran to get there on time. The traffic was really, really insane. Maybe because it was Friday, it was payday, it was Valentine's. But we got a thing to do before getting to the airport. It was really near the airport. And so we said, okay, we got the time. But when we stopped at the car again, just to really now get to the airport, the traffic was insane. We were really close to the airport, but the traffic was crazy. So we were very stressed that we can almost see the airport's hotel, but we can get in there. So it was a really, really scary drive because we were very afraid like to losing the flight, but we didn't do it because of Viva. Viva has a history of delayed flights. So our plane was delayed. So it was the thing that saved us from losing it. So thanks Viva. This time it was a good thing for us that time that they were delayed. Another thing on the plane, the person sitting behind my boyfriend keep kicking the seat. It was an adult, it wasn't a kid, and it was just kicking and kicking and kicking his seat. And he was very upset. And he was like, what's happening? Is it that child behind me? And it wasn't. So it was really, really stressful because he wanted to sleep, but he keeps getting kicks from the seat behind. So it wasn't very comfortable. Another thing, we walked from the central station to the hotel because there were no taxis passing by. That was a thing that we really don't expect because when we get to to the central at San Cristobal. We check our cell phones to order a Didi and Uber, but that services doesn't exist in San Cristobal, so we had to be in the streets hoping a taxi pick us up, but no taxis were passing. So we check on Google Maps how far was our hotel from the place we were, and it was like a kilometer. So we said, oh, okay, let's walk. So we walk with our luggage, our backpacks. On the streets, we didn't know it was at night. It was Valentine, so everything was really, really full of people. So it was difficult to get to the hotel, but we get there safe. Another thing, we were running down to lack of time several times. That is a thing that I really hate. Like don't have the time to do the things as I want to do it. And that was something that happened many times staying there because we had like few minutes to be ready to get to the places my boyfriend's friends invited us to go, but we really don't have like the plan. They were just like, oh, coming here in 15 minutes, in 30 minutes. So we were running and running and running to one place to another. And that was a thing I really don't like. But it was okay. But really, at the end, it was okay when we went to the places we wanted to go. But in the meantime, from the invitation to get in there, it was really, really stressful. Another thing, when taking the van from San Cristobal to Tuxtla Airport, we were waiting in a horrible central station. That was a thing we really didn't expect. We reserved our places to get directly to the van, like not making lines, just getting in there and sit and wait for the van to start driving to the airport. But when we came, the central was horrible. Was like a 3, 4 chairs in the street, but literally in the street where the vans and the cars was passing. So we were really afraid and really thinking, what is this place? Are we in the correct place? Because it didn't look like the photos we saw on the internet. But at the end we were in the correct place, but it was horrible waiting in there. We were like, oh no, they are going to assault us. Or when is the van going to come and pick us up so we can leave this place? But at the end, everything was okay, but it was really scary. Okay. Another things I didn't like because I had a really terrible back pain that days. All that week and the week before, I had been very busy with the homework. So my back was really, really in a bad condition because of my posture and all the hours I have been in the computer. So I really, really had a really bad back pain. So I was just like taking ibuprofen or medicines to stop the pain and to get through the day. But it was really tired too because I really had pain. Another thing, the food made me sick and I had stomach problems. And I really don't think I ate bad things because I ate like the normal things I usually eat here in Monterrey. But my stomach says, no, this is not the same as Monterrey's food. So I had stomach problems. It was really, really uncomfortable for me. Hopefully I had the medicines like to be okay. So it don't ruins the plant, ruin the plant. But it was very uncomfortable at the moment because I really feel bad. Another thing, my period came and I had a lot of cramps and I had the back pain and I had the problems with my stomach. So I really feel bad at the beginning of Sunday, especially. That's why I didn't really wanted to go to the Cañón del Sumidero. I was like hoping not to get an answer from the tour because I didn't want it to go. Hopefully they didn't answer on time. And if they in case they will answer us, I will say no. I think I don't feel good like for making this plan. Another thing, since we thought it would be very cold, we didn't have the appropriate clothing. We were checking the weather channel, the the Facebook, the apps. We were really checking on the time, like to not be getting cold because we saw it was very cold in there in the winter. But when we came, the weather was okay. We were carrying many sweaters, many pants. We were really with clothes that don't apply at that time. So we were like uncomfortable because we were sweating and we just have sweaters. So it was not okay. It was really not something we expected. We planned it will be cold, but the weather says no. This is going to be hot days. And at the end, despite all of these things, I don't think it was a bad trip. I enjoyed with my boyfriend. I enjoyed with my friends, or I mean, maybe his friends, but I consider mine too. I had a really good time at the wedding. It was a precious wedding. So, despite all the things I already said, I think it wasn't the worst plan. It just has its things, but we can all figure it out fine. So I think it's a very good place to visit. I hope one day to visit it again, maybe more days because we really were in there like nothing, but I enjoyed the weekend. So I think it wasn't the worst, but it has its things. And this is all. Thank you so much for the attention and have a good day. Thank you. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you so much.